Hello, everybody. All my Facebook friends, relatives, or whoever followers here. Be sure you follow up on me because I'm only going to be able to do part one tonight. Maybe later in the morning I'll do part two of this. There's a lot I like to talk about, and I've been holding back from doing any broadcasting or doing any video for probably about a week and a half because I don't know where to start at. I don't want to offend no one and I don't want to hurt no one. But what's going on, it got to be talked about. And I'm trying to figure out where do I start at. Should I start with the killing of the police officers? Or should I start with the brutality of the black man when he gets stopped? Or shall I start with myself? I guess I start myself. Everybody who gets stopped don't die. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people get stopped plenty of times every day, mainly black people. But I cannot say every day you hear of a black person getting killed. I have a CWP, and 99% of the time I am armed. I do carry my weapon with me at all times, pretty much. I have gotten stopped 3 times with my weapon on me. One down, 2 times down in a couple of country hick towns. There was nothing to it. One wrote me a warning, one gave me a verbal warning for my tail light, for my license plate light. Other one gave me a warning for speeding. The 3rd time I got stopped, he was pretty upset, and he was in it right. And I had my weapon on me then. Black folks say they can use they words, and they about the most slick talking people I know. I mean, they are slick with the words. And I have found out of my 65 years here on the earth how to use my words. I'm from up north, so I don't say yes sir, no sir, and yes ma'am, no ma'am, because we don't do that up there. I believe that's a southern thing. But I will say yes and a no. I know how to govern my tongue when it needs to be governed. And I know that 2 wrongs ain't gonna make a right. He's a man, I'm a man. We both put our pants on the same way. I respect him, and 99% of the time he respects me. But when you put yourself out there, disrespecting him with a whole lot of profane language and cussing and what you talking, stopping me for and all that craziness, you only increase it. A lot of times I tell my wife I shouldn't be saying this. The tone always can set the attitude. And sometimes we can be talking and her tone can be off. And a lot of times I can feel tone. And I guess the average person should be able to sense tone. And I haven't got killed yet because I know how to keep a certain tone for certain people at certain times. Do not by any means get a misunderstanding that you're looking at a Tom or something. By no means, no way. I'm 100 all the way. I know law, and I know how to conduct myself. Now, I really hate the fact that what's going on is going on. I thank God that it haven't happened down here where I live at. We seem to be a pretty quiet, laid back little town. If anything like that happens, I don't know about it. And I live deep in the South. I got to drive an hour before I hit an interstate. So that's how deep up in the woods we is. But yet and still, I like to talk about my people out there rioting, marching, doing whatever they doing. But as I said earlier, two wrongs can't make a right. You wrong and they wrong, and we all trying to prove a point. Now, I told you last video I seen some UN trucks on a flatbed. Anytime you see UN trucks somewhere, there's something done popped off or something about to pop off. And at the pace we going, something about to pop off. Now, I'm going to say it like this. Nobody want no race war. No one wants anarchy in here. No one wants to go through no changes having martial law in here. But at the pace we're gonna have martial law. Where the food shelves are empty, army controlling everything, because we got one bozo took something beautiful, something nice, something peaceful, and jumped out there and destroyed it. Anytime you could pull 2,000 or 3,000 people together, black and white, marching and singing with no violence, police hugging and marching with them, making sure their safety is there, and you get one jerk, all it takes is just one jerk to screw up something. That one jerk that ambushed those officers ruined the whole thing. It took Black Lives Matter and turned it into something else that is not. Then you get the other dummy who bushwhacked the cops down here in Baton Rouge, ruining. Even if they wanted to do another march down there, now you got the officers on high alert. Now you done made them put up their guard. I don't understand how one person can destroy so much. But they say a little yeast in the flour, a little too much yeast in the batter. And all it takes is just a sprinkle, a little speckle of yeast in something, and it blow it all up. Blow it all up, and that's what these two people have done. Now I want you to know, I don't promote violence unless it brought directly up in my face. Then we take it from there. But since I had my CWP, I have gotten more humble. And if you see me walking away apologizing, don't have a misunderstanding. It's just because I'm trying to save your life. If you see me apologizing, it's because I'm trying to keep the peace. That so many of us don't care about peace because A lot of us got nothing to lose. So I guess that's why we out here doing what we doing. Pushing for the race war. Scribing for the race war. Some can't wait. But remember that when the flood came in, they had martial law. Then they bought in Blackwater without any license plates on no SUVs. And they weren't trying to talk. They were just shooting you and shooting you and shooting you. You passed curfew, you were shot. And that's what you're trying to push for. I'm going to tell you how to beat the system, how to get what you want. And it's not by violence and a whole lot of marching. You can get exactly what you need without all the marching, shooting cops, hating cops, disrespecting the white folks, hating white folks. Listen, there's another way to get it. So you're going to have to tune in to part two. Part two. Look me up, Keeping It Real. Part two will tell you how to get what you want without all the violence, without all the marching, without all this hatred. And before I go, I just, I feel so sorry for these officers who were doing their job, getting ambushed by a coward. And just because you might think you killing blue, the men in those blues got families. My daughter worked in Dallas, EMT. Her husband, police officer. And for your FYI, he's white. Well, he half white, half Mexican. And you want to talk about race? Put on your laptops and your computers and go check your history. Go check your history. I ran mine back to 1790. I found out there was so much white in my blood. So I really, can't hold race as an issue. We all bleed the same. I like to say, too, that when you're killing these officers, you're killing those that got families, mothers, daughters, they just like you. And for you to go out and bushwhack them like that,